Today is the 16th of December. We did our live show at Hockey Social last night. I'm just doing the edit for that now. My throat's still not great from that. We've got confirmation, touch wood, that we're getting Dean Smith on the podcast on Friday, just before Christmas. I am super excited about it. Very much hoping it doesn't fall through, because I'm already starting to think of how we're going to film it, what we're going to ask him. There's so much detail from the Dean Smith era. I don't know how long we're going to get with him. If it's only half an hour, it'll still be good, but there's so much to get through in that time, it doesn't even feel possible. If you can get an hour or even more, then yeah, that'll be so special. This is the one I've been after for years.
I sent this link to Ash as well, who's in the stadium, probably chatting to Dean Smith at this point. Probably having a beer with Dino.
You could have got Dean on.
Oh, mate, I'd love to, but probably never going to happen.
But there must be so many stories. That's a boy Villa fan, coaching Villa. Used to cycle past Villa Park as a kid, going to his paint factory or whatever. Like, it's like the best story there is.
O'Neill was always one that I always wanted and thought we'd never get. And I've said to you loads of times, I want Smith, not next, but I want that to happen. But whether it happens while he's still in work, I'm not sure. So if he gets the boot from Norwich, get the phone out. Yeah, it's nice to see Dino there, and if he's watching this and wants to come on the podcast, the invite is still there.
I mean, obviously, we keep saying we're trying to get Dean Smith on the podcast at some point. I'd love to, if we eventually get him on, to get his verdict on how that felt to go through that period. What is your and Matt's top 3 dream podcast guests? Dino, obvious shout, say it every time.
This is like the holy grail for me. This is like one of the biggest things I've done in my career so far and possibly will ever do. Yeah, let's go and do it, shall we?
Currently stood in a cycling shelter thing where people store their bikes. I'm waiting for Kendrick and it's raining. I've come over to have a chat with him about the Dean Smith thing. Very excited. We're going to do a bit of planning for it. We're editing our Christmas special. That's what I'm here for, really. So I'm going to wait here like a lemon and we'll chat to Kendrick in a bit.
I want to do loose themes rather than specific questions.
Yeah, I'm really excited. You know, it's still at the point where we just kind of crossing our fingers, and I won't cross my toes, but crossing our fingers and our toes to.
You jinxed it now. You don't cross your toes.
The way my feet are, after all these years of stiletto wearing, my toes are crossed anyway. Yeah, just want it to go ahead. It's one of the ones I'm normally kind of plug and play on, where you just kind of get me to roll along, whether it's a after match or a live event or whatever. I don't normally have to do much prep. But I feel like I need to, not that it's a chore massively, but I need to go back over the Dean Smith years. Look directly down the camera. Go back over the Dean Smith years and just kind of remember the good times, remember some of the biggest stories and narratives from that time. And just try and see, I mean, putting pressure on myself now in case I don't get what I'm after, but just try and tease out some kind of interesting times from his time at Villa. So it's one where, you know, I probably had this nervousness when we did Martin O'Neill a few years ago. For different reasons, a bit more tension in the air then.
Thought you might scrap you.
Yeah, when we did Big Ron, you just know that Big Ron has got this kind of catalogue of stories that he's not going to need much probing to deliver them. With Dean Smith, I think there's probably a lot that has been said, but there's a lot that hasn't been said. And I want to make sure that, you know, we're lucky enough to get this opportunity with him, that we absolutely make the most of it, really.
What day is it?
It's Friday, mate, still.
It's Dean Smith Day.
Oh, it's Dean Smith Day.
You got your smart shirt on?
Still don't want to jinx it, mate.
Do we get on the road and just hope it happens?
I've got my smart shirt on. You told me, you gave me advice saying,
well, I just said
this is going to be immortalised forevermore.
Yeah,
no pressure. So have a shave, have a wash.
Don't wear your Christmas pyjamas on this one because it might go everywhere. Yeah. Should we go?
Yeah, come on, mate. Let's bring it on.
So we're in the studio, almost finished setting up. Got about 45 minutes or so. So
Twix for breakfast.
Twix for breakfast. Breakfast of champions.
Yeah.
Nervous, excited?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's something that we've been trying to pull off for a while. So we're tantalisingly close now.
Dino's due here at 9:30, so I should imagine now at 10 to 9 he's somewhere in the vicinity, hopefully.
Oh, that makes me weirdly nervous.
Dreading the ping of my message to say he's had to cancel for whatever reason. Let's hope if you're watching this, that wasn't the case. Like I said, this is before the event. If we manage to pull this off, it'll be quite the Christmas present to us and hopefully to the fans as well. So yeah, I am nervous. Yeah, you tell.
The bit I get nervous about now, and it's less so as I've got older, is the production side of things. Have I brought everything with me from home? Have I remembered all the memory cards? And I'll show you in a second that I have. So that's kind of step number one. If I was sat in the chairs doing the interview as well, I'd be very nervous of, are the cameras still rolling? Are they in focus? And that would be on my mind. So we decided, right, make sure the production is kind of spot on. But the thing I get nervous for, and it's so stupid, this is why we don't like to announce that we're doing anything. We could do it all and it could be absolutely brilliant. And then you go to check the files later and the card's corrupted. Or the audio file is, I don't know, it's too quiet or it's too loud, or like things can still go wrong that are out of your hands. So whilst I'm very excited about, Dean Smith will be in half an hour, even when we film it, until I've seen the footage back and that it's there and it's okay, I can't quite relax, and that's what makes me nervous. So I just want it to be good and I want fans to have enjoyed it. And by the time you see this behind the scenes, you'll have seen the interview anyway and you'll know whether it was good or not. But as of right now, I'm looking around the room and I'll show you my point of view in a sec. Just stuff everywhere. There's still loads of different bits and pieces to do. 3 or 4 tripods that still need sorting out. Got the lights on. This is all the things I've brought with me that I'm glad I've remembered. So spare batteries, a couple of memory cards, extra tripod plates because these can break. Get all the way here and one of these breaks. Oh, I can't use a tripod now. That's annoying. There's a couple of those spare battery charger. Got my lens cloth, my 2 big cameras. It's just about getting ready as best we can. So I will crack on, finish up getting ready. I'll show you the set before we start. Might even get another quick catch up with Matt just before Dean arrives. Get the moment that he walks through the door as well, get all the introductions, get him mic'd up. Obviously we use these big kind of podcast mics, but I want a mic on him as well as like an extra backup, which shows how like I'm being like extra careful with this one, and I know I'm going over the top, but I'd rather do that than not. So yeah, time to crack on. This camera here will be a wide of the whole room. You should just be able to see it there. So it's that kind of angle. You'll be able to see both Matt on the left and Dean on the right in the grey chair. We have this angle here. These cameras are little Sony cameras. This will be a close-up on Matt's chair. So it'll be this kind of angle, but a little bit more zoomed in. As you can maybe see. Yeah, work to do on that angle. And then we have this one here, which is a close-up on Dean's chair, which will be something like that. One of the best things about having our own little studio space is that I don't need to set up any of the audio. I don't even need to do like an audio sound check. This stuff is here all the time and it's ready to go straight away. That in a normal interview, in a normal kind of Q&A scenario, me and John would just turn up, press record and start. Big mics that I was sat in front of recording to this that goes into my laptop. So we've kind of got 2 versions of it. And my laptop is asking me for an update, which is brilliant timing, isn't it? Thank you, work laptop, for that. It's absolutely not the same, but when you're waiting in for a delivery and you're kind of waiting all day and you're just on edge, it's kind of like that. Like I'm ready now and I'm filming this to kill time basically. So here we go. Here is our studio. This is what Dean Smith will be greeted with. A big plant in the way, better move that. So Dean will sit in the grey chair here. We've got the Loot Roper shirts behind. And this will be Matt's side. This is the scene, the other side of the room. I'll be sat over there monitoring the audio. We've got the close-up camera that I showed you before. That's Tactics Corner that we don't need today. And I've got a slightly different setup. So we've got a wide angle of the whole room. And then I'm going to use this camera to be a kind of manned camera as a close-up, depending on who is speaking, to give us a bit of shot variety. So this is the scene that we're working with. And we're ready to go. This really is waiting for a delivery now. I'm literally just staring out the window, waiting for any sign of him. A bit sad really, isn't it? But apologies for that shot for anyone with a fear of heights. That is the entrance. Genuinely, this whole video now is just me waiting. Have you just had the call?
I've just had the call.
Is excited, nervous?
Go.
Not that cool.
No, that's a different call. Yeah, I'm excited. I'll see you soon. Where are you going to be?
I'll be in the
Podimo?
office. Yeah. See you in a bit.
Please mind the door.
Alright, I'll just press record on anything. Back to the door.
This is our recording space. This is Podimo Heath. So yeah,
Got tactics board out as well.
I'll show you.
Tactical work while you're here.
You're the big one. You're our main get you on. So
I was looking for that.
You said that to Mark as well.
I was scared about it. At least I was fairly confident you weren't going to punch me in the face when I greeted you. When Martin O'Neill came in, I was like, oh god, the legend that is Dean Smith. Thanks for joining us, Dino.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me on.
So you're in Podimore Heath rather than Bodymore Heath. Couple of nods to your era as well.
Yeah,
I don't know where we've
there's
had
a
those
few.
32 red Luke Roper shirts from, but I reckon they're probably worth a few quid, those are.
Ready?
Let me put my phone away. And relax.
And relax, yeah.
Well, wait till it's published and then relax.
You're sitting in the chair that Dean Smith was sat in about 10 minutes ago.
I am.
How do you feel now you've bagged the interview at last?
I'm really pleased. I'm really proud. I'm one of life's natural born pessimists, so I'm glad that he turned up.
How many times do you think we've said this week, let's not jinx it by X, let's not jinx it by Y?
We didn't jinx it, did we?
No.
So, yeah, just get your camera and your memory cards home safely. Yeah, I've kind of lined him up for a part 2 next time he's in. Next time he's over from the States. He doesn't know that yet, but I've tried to plant the seed.
Well, I said, and I don't know whether it's been in this little behind the scenes yet or not, but every time we get asked who's your dream interview guest, I've said Dean Smith, probably for 6 or 7 podcasts in a row over the course of 3 or 4 years. Yeah. This is the one I wanted, and we knew it was going to be a big deal. We've done, I think we recorded for about an hour and 20 minutes or something like that, and the final edit was probably close to that, because I don't think anything needs cutting out apart from a couple of tiny little bits here and there. But if he didn't say, like, oh, I've got to be gone at 11:30 or whatever it was, you could have done another hour there easily. The stuff that we spoke about in the prep for this that we didn't even mention, because you naturally do run out of time, and perhaps you do linger on one topic more than another, but that's because that's the good stuff.
No, I loved it. I hope people have enjoyed it. I think it's a lovely way to finish 2025, really. I just wish we got this with O'Neill as well, wasn't it? When we did Martin O'Neill a couple of years ago, another black shirt occasion for me for some reason. It's as much. I'm so pleased I got the questions out that I did.
Yeah.
But there's a big long list. I said to him, didn't I? I think there's a big long list of questions that I'd ask you if we got you all day. But I think his wife was shopping at Harvey Nicks, so he's just a bit.
Nice.
He was a bit conscious not to let her hammer the credit card too much.
As much as we're kind of desperate for the perfect episode, and what we've done is good. Well, of course, we'd want 2 hours or 2.5 or 3 hours, but they are normal people, and he's a very normal man who's got other responsibilities. It's a few days before Christmas, so I'm not going to be like, no, stay for another hour, Dean, like, as if we've got the power to do that.
Yeah. Tell us more. Why did you sign Borgia Baston, Dean? Come on, tell us.
What was your favourite bit?
I liked it when he started singing, because I was after an explanation for that flag.
I love Villa, you love Villa.
Oh, right. A lot of the things that we got him on, he's spoken about before, but we were able to, I don't know, people might know differently who study Villa closer than I do, but that bit about Neuland and the goal, it was, his mum said it was like the, it was his dad's obsession with watches.
I'd heard that somewhere before, I'm sure, about his dad's watches. But the thing is, we always say about that, it's us getting our version of it. You might have heard little bits before, but it's our interview, so you're always going to get people repeating stories. There's a couple of bits, I was sat behind the camera, that made me laugh. I don't know whether you'll have heard it on the edit. What they were, I can't remember now, but the one detail that sticks in my head was I was driving to Bodymore and Christian says, coming through for a meeting, and I even remember the song on the radio, it was Dido, and I was like, whoa, his level of detail throughout was, I texted John actually as we were filming, his level of memory recall is impeccable.
So I hope people have enjoyed it, Dan, because I've been nervous about this.
I have as well.
I don't get nervous about much, but I wanted to make sure that he actually arrived in the building, that we looked after him, that he felt comfortable, he felt at ease to talk, and that we were able to tackle as many topics as you can in an hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah, and I'm never kind of fully rested until I've
check the footage back, and I haven't done that yet. I've checked the audio. The audio's there, so that's one thing. But until I get back and see it all and back it up and kind of go, yes, it's all there, that's when I'll kind of fully give a little fist bump that we've finally done it. So I'm keen to get out of this video and go and do that.
I feel we need to get a Securicore van just to drive you home with the footage.
Yeah. But even just like the little bits of this behind the scenes that we filmed, I don't know what footage I can include, but we were rolling the cameras as he came in, and we had kind of 10 minutes of chit chat before we started. I think you went off to grab a glass of water or go to the toilet or whatever, and we were just in here, and he was looking around at all the props we got. He looked at this little best 11 thing we did down here from ages ago, which I said to him, was like, I actually don't think this is what we decided on, because I'm not sure Gabby would be in my best 11. And he was like, but he was looking at the posters, he was looking at the shirts, which shout out John Inslee, by the way, who let us borrow the 4 Luke Roper shirts you can see in the set, the home, the away, the third with Grealish on the back, and one of the ones with the playoff print on the chest, there weren't many of those made. And he was looking at them, he's still got the tags on, these must be worth a fair bit. So it didn't just come in, sit down and answer the questions. He kind of fully embraced what we were and really kind of got it, which, as is expected, he's a Villa fan. He was looking around looking at the John McGinn poster and the scarves on the wall. And I was like, this is a nice little moment.
Yeah, it's great, and I love the bits about the morning after the night before, in terms of we going for a walk around Hyde Park with his brother to clear his head and kind of get a sense of what he just achieved. I really enjoyed it. It's given me the hunger to try and get Dean Smith Part 2 sometime in the future.
Is that my new answer now for who's your dream interview guest? Just Dean Smith again.
That's it, yeah. Dean Smith, the questions that we didn't get round to.
That's a good title for the next one. I'll write that down. We spoke a little bit, actually, just quickly to end this, of how do we do the interview. Do I do it with you? I've hosted, God knows, 999 episodes of The 1000. Obviously, John is very involved as well. There was a slight discussion of, do we do it as a group? Do we do it as a 3? Do we do it as a 2? Now, I like the idea of that. I think it could have worked, like kind of the banter, for want of a better word. But I do think sometimes with an interview, a one-on-one does work, and knowing how much time he had, if we spent, me and John are chatting for the hour that we've got him, and Dean Smith's not really saying a lot, that's mad, right? Yeah. It's all about him. So we felt as a group the best decision was for you to do it one-on-one, because that was the safest way to get the best podcast available. Yeah, and I can be in charge of all the cameras and stuff. So
yeah, I think the thing is that I don't know. You've just watched it. I've just kind of lived it, if you like. So I try to give the guests time to speak. I hope I've done that.
Yeah.
Sometimes I can have a rambling question that leads me in, but I think it was the best dynamic to just try and get him to say as much as we could, really.
And we've all worked hard on the podcast over the years, the three of us, to get in the position where we've got the clout to go to Dean and say, can you come on our podcast that's now quite popular? And so
this has been such a planning stage. Me and you were saying, how can we reach out to our friends at NordVPN to get a trip to Charlotte sponsored? So when this has kind of landed in our lap, and it was, there's been a delay. We were supposed to be getting it earlier in the week, and we're like, is this paving the way for us to be blown out completely? But fair play to Dean and his agent. They're being true to their words. So I'm buzzing. I'm really I'm excited to see what it looks like now. So you can go and work your magic on it.
Yeah, it's a little bit like we've achieved the top one now. So what's next?
Unai, innit?
Yeah, probably.
Got a doorstep him next time he's doing a signing at the Bullring or whatever.
Yeah. Okay, right. That's a wrap on the behind the scenes of the Dean Smith interview, and for us, about an hour ago, the Dean Smith interview itself. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode and the interview itself. Just really, really happy with it. I'm glad it's done. I was also nervous this morning for different reasons of, what if he drops out last minute? What if I've forgotten a memory card? What if I do this? What if I do that? But as far as I'm aware, everything went swimmingly, and that's good. So thank you very much. Thank you for doing the interview, and we'll see you in a few days. Bye-bye.